beautiful audience, Mind Your Biz audience, and Seth Estrada channel loyalists, Bitcoin, crypto fanatics. I was going to say Bitcoin fanatics, but that's really not true. Most of us really don't. I mean, we kind of care what Bitcoin does, but only in as much as it keeps our mineable alts afloat. But guys, as you can tell, I've got with me your favorite community moderator, Mr. Corey Brown. You guys want to give him a round of applause? Yeah.
How you doing, guys? Good evening.
Yeah, no, hey, Myron, I was just kidding about Alex Jones denying BitTube. I think, if anything, he couldn't dignify my tweets with comment because I've got so few followers compared to him. He owns like all the Twitter traffic, and I hardly do. But guys, thanks so much for hitting the subscribe button. Thanks so much for clicking the like button or the downvote button. You know, whatever. Pretty much YouTube views it all as reaction and as interaction, and it all fuels the content promotion algorithm. Believe it or not, just that's why Linus from Linus Tech Tips is always like, hey, if you don't like this video, you know what to do. It's actually pretty brilliant. But really appreciate you guys being here. This is the second in our twofer on the ETC Coinbase launch day. And if you weren't already familiar, well, if you were in the Mind Your Biz Discord channel, you would have seen Corey tell you yesterday that Robinhood started listing ETC. And you would have seen this morning that we talked about ETC, and we kind of took some predictions as a community as to what was going to happen to the price of ETC by the end of the day. If you guys remember, some folks said, oh yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to do like $30 today. ETC is going to go crazy. And I mean, something went crazy, all right, but it wasn't ETC. It was like literally all of the rest of the crypto market cap just basically went insane. So guys, that's why I invited Corey onto the live stream. You can see right behind him, he barely got his kids through the baby gate and into bed, carved out enough time to be with us tonight. So Corey, man, thanks for making some time tonight.
Yeah, no problem. Good to be here, guys.
So let's talk a little bit. Hey, that's a good question, Osiris. Osiris Twits is saying smash the likes. I approve. So, guys, if you haven't already shared us on our cryptocurrency, then that is much appreciated as well. Big shout out to the moderation team there, to especially Mr. John Murphy, who was on the channel not too long ago for the Wow Narrow project. So, guys, appreciate you sharing us on Twitter as well and sharing us across all of social media. And, I mean, it's great because Facebook kind of doesn't hate crypto anymore, apparently. So, anywhere you can share us, apparently we're welcome now. So guys, let's talk a little bit about what happened today. This morning went live. We're kind of bookending the ETC Coinbase launch, but this morning went live and talked a little bit about, there we go. Oh no. Oh, you guys want to see, my camera got frozen. You want to see this, guys? That's my frozen camera. We should turn that into an emoji. They can see, yeah, my green screen camera keeps getting frozen. And so like, the craziest stuff happens. And Myron, you're asking about Digibyte adding a Kryptonite algo. Maybe let's go ahead and we'll search for that live a little bit later on in the stream. But for right now, I want to talk a little bit about just kind of what the overall market's doing. Let me switch webcams for you really fast. See if we can get this to reinitialize. There we go. So, but
that's good luck.
Right. Somebody emojify that for Discord. We'll turn it into a reaction. But yeah, let's talk a little about the market right now. This is just disappointing. This is the opposite of a hockey stick. What is it called? Is it a reverse hockey stick? This is not what anybody wants to see when they're like, all right, I've been mining this particular coin, and then it takes a dive, it jumps down a step in the stacked ranking, and then everything falls down and to the right. What gives? Corey, talk to me, man. What are you seeing here? What did you see today as stuff kind of shifted?
So I'm gonna take control here.
Let me make sure I've got, there we go, screen share is fully stopped.
There we go. Oops. Oh no. I can't see anything now.
Oh no.
Where did screen share go?
So, guys, while Corey's pulling that up, I want you to fess up in the comments who said that ETC was going to rally today because of the Coinbase listing. Time to eat crow, ladies and gentlemen. Who said it? Who said it was going to?
There we go. All right, so everybody was real excited. I saw lots of comments. Did your audio die, Seth?
Nope, not. Okay. No, not at all. I just giving you a chance to talk, man. I've been accused of not letting my guests talk.
Yeah. So right here we can see, we had a pretty nice move, and you can see there's good volume buying in, right? And I'm not a big guy on technicals because to a point it's hocus pocus, right? Like I can draw as many lines as possible and get it to represent what I want it to represent. And then I can sell you on that. So it's a tool, use it like a tool. But like Seth talked about, Robinhood added Ethereum Classic first. They've been a little bit quicker, maybe less due diligence just to get out there with what they're doing to beat Coinbase. So we saw a lot of buying in, and that's what you're seeing here. And I know that everyone's kind of depressed about, this little pullback that we're seeing, but this is healthy, and this is actually a good sign in my opinion. Real quick disclosure, I am a registered investment advisor in the stock market. So when I discuss things, it's my opinion. I do get paid to give people advice, but this is educational for you guys. So trade at your own risk. We'll just leave it there, but I'm free to, talk to anybody that wants to talk more in depth on this in the Mind Your Biz Discord. So get that out of the way, liability, right? And keep looking at the screen. So I take this kind of as actually a good sign. And I know that your wallets are hurting. You guys that are holding, you're feeling it right now. And we've had a lot of, declining in this as well as most of crypto. But these big volume spikes are a good sign, because when something like this happens, I've seen everyone get excited. Like, oh, I'm expecting triple digits, I heard. It's like, well, why would we have a 5,000% increase because something gets listed? You wouldn't. This isn't like an IPO. This is just giving people the opportunity to buy and sell. So you have people that come in, and all the volume here, massive volume, is to the sell side. And I don't think that that's what anybody was looking for, right? Pretty much everyone was looking for this to go, $30, whatever, 100, which is crazy.
Well, so, I mean, in the defense of the people who made the really wild predictions this morning, guesses. I mean, I framed it that way this morning during the live stream. In their defense, some people said, "Yeah, it's going to do like $100 by in a month. In a month, it'll do 100." Yeah. I'm being very conservative.
So, but I take this as a positive, and I think you guys should too. Crypto market in general, we're going to switch over here to BTC because I've done a little more work on BTC than Ethereum, because I look at BTC as, like the index for all cryptos, like the S&P 500, even though it's not, compromised of 500 positions in crypto. Everything kind of goes the way of Bitcoin and correlates somewhat to Bitcoin. Alts correlate slightly different, but in general, if Bitcoin goes down, your portfolio is going down. So if we look at this is nothing new for you technical guys. This is just a simple descending wedge, falling wedge, consolidating wedge, whatever you want to call it. Lower highs, lower lows, which, kind of predicts what we're going through here. And you've got some different levels that we're probably going to touch. And, currently we're right at the 6,600. And there's a reason, because there's some technical spots for that. Crypto is more news driven than anything. There's I'm about to share another area here. Where is it? Let me pull my screen out. There we go. Some of you may not have seen this site. Deribit is a site that was shared with me by crypto. Forgot his tag. crypto grid or whatever. And this is options. And that's what I do pretty much for a living every day, is trade options. And when I'm giving people slight predictions, I'm basing it off of spreads and what market makers are looking at. And that's where we're currently at right here. So by the end of August, the spreads are basically, at the money. For August 31st, you can't really go at the money, but you can get close at 6,500. So you take these numbers and then you divide them basically by where we're trading at, and then you take out about $100 for the current in the money situation that we're in. Gives you about a 12.5% range either direction, and that's for the next almost month, not even a month. So if we look at that, that gives us a low of about 57.87 and a high of 74.37, I believe. So it's giving it this range right in here. So not necessarily a bad thing. So don't get upset. Don't do anything crazy. If we do break below some of these numbers, it could pull down a little bit more. Not crazy, but could go down to the 5,000 level, right? But in general, what we're seeing on these spreads, and I've been watching this site for a while, and it's pretty legit in terms of how options work. It's been a pretty good predictor. I did this last week, and for the month of August, it was suggesting about a 15% move, and that was last Wednesday about 8:30. So if you looked at the time on Bitcoin last week, you could see we've already legged down from that level. So we could be in store for some more to the downside, but people are trying to hold tight. And if you look at any type of trading volume on Bitcoin, which I'll share again, you can see that there's not a lot of volume. We don't have tons of volume in here. We've got average volume. You go back in this range and there's no, we don't want that. Tons of volume. This is what tons of volume looks like. This is fear. This is your FUD, right? And then crashing down. And then you've got tons of buying in. So the volume is super light. Now, the big elephant in the room is, of course, this ETF that's coming. And it keeps getting pushed back. The SEC doesn't want to approve any type of ETF. So they keep pushing it out. You can see that right here on this news. They keep delaying it, right? So we probably won't see this, in my opinion, until 2019. Everybody's been waiting for this to happen, but the head of the SEC, he's been, said to have been in heated discussions over crypto. He doesn't want to have it happen, but it's going to come a point where all the I's are going to be dotted, all the T's are going to be crossed, and you can't have a bias against it just because. And so it will happen. Those of you that were waiting for August or September for this ETF to get approved, in my opinion, I think it's probably not going to happen until 2019, because they'll just keep pushing it out until they just finally can't. So you're going to have a trading range, and until it breaks, and this type of descending wedge, I like to call it consolidating wedge, falling wedge, whatever you want to call it, normally as it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and converges, you'll have a break, and it's going to break one way or the other. And typically when it's descending like this, it normally breaks to the upside, which is a great thing.
You guys heard it here first. There's reason to hope.
Yes.
To the bottom line, reason to hope. Hey, I got a quick question. Deribit, is it deribit.com?
Yes.
Okay, and could we get the spelling on that? I'm putting it in the comments here.
Yeah, it's DERIBIT.com.
My mistake, guys. Did it wrong last time.
Here, I can just copy paste it here. So one thing with Deribit is it's not. If you're in the US, you can't use it. So I have it on the UK just so I can, get in here, and I've transferred money in and out.
Well, as crypto note miners, we're familiar with exchanges that we need to use VPNs to access.
Right. So I've transferred money in and out, so I know that can work. And this isn't binary options. Options are a very let me go change screens here. This is a really cool site, and I use it a lot. Let's just go back here. It's got futures on it, and then options, which they all disappeared. I need to go back here.
Hey guys, just a quick shout out to JMS Vlogs. Thanks for coming over, buddy. Good to see you in the comments. What was your question about, though? It's lower than it was during your last live stream. Oh, yeah. Ethereum Classic. Oh, yes. Decidedly. We'll talk about that in a minute, guys.
Yeah, I don't know where all my... it keeps... All my trades just disappeared. Everything I was looking at is just... There we go. Now it's loaded back up. Okay, so like I was saying, this isn't binary options, which, in my opinion, don't mess around with binary options unless you really know what you're doing. That's something I wouldn't even play with, because you either win or lose. There's no in between. Not really, at least. These are real options, which gets me excited, because it's a great tool, and you can get in and out. These trade, and I've been tracking them just to see if this is a valuable site. And these trade just like how you would trade in the stock market with options on equity positions or indices. So they go all the way out. They have leaps on here into next year, which is really cool. And there's some really cool option strategies that would be great for crypto. So with an ETF will come real legitimate option trading on in the stock market, which will be massive. So this ETF will be massive. For some of you that don't already know, Grayscale Investments already has a mutual fund on Bitcoin. So it's not like institutional money isn't already here. So like I said, everything is news driven, and that's kind of how this works, just because there isn't enough history. Sorry, nice. Guys, my son's visiting us.
Nice. Yeah. Hey, Corey, while your son is walking in, I've got a quick question that I'm just going to pull from the comments here. B-Rye, well, first off, a comment. B-Rye saying an economic chief advisor for Alliance said sub 5K Bitcoin. Well, I guess this is a prediction of sub 5K Bitcoin on CNBC. So expect it to probably get close to it or right below it. And then he says sub 5K Bitcoin's a good buy. I mean, I'd have to agree with that. We haven't seen sub 5K Bitcoin since November of last year, right? So,
yeah.
But
I mean, sub 5K could happen. Let me go back and show you guys something. That was just a iPad charger moment.
It's funny actually how often it's like, oh hey buddy, you came to give me a hug. Oh nope, you just want to charge
iPad.
Nice.
So let me just pull this out, guys. So sub 5K. Let's look at what that means. Okay, right here, that's 49.27. That's the last peak here we have. To pull down that far. I mean, it could happen, and the reason that they're saying that is they're basing that on technical analysis. Sorry, guys, I'm looking over here at my screen. I know the camera's over here. I don't normally stream like Seth, but I'm looking at you out of this eye.
Well, I actually moved your feed, so it looks like you're looking at the data that you're pointing at.
So, yeah, I mean, look, 49.27-ish range. We're talking about, some pretty old numbers. And yeah, if it does go sub 5K, that's pretty negative. But there's too much positive out there that we're not talking about. And I watch CNBC every day, and they've got plenty of guys on there that are saying, Bitcoin's going to be at 100,000 by the end of the year, or, outlandish numbers, 25,000, 15,000, whatever. So those opinions are just like mine, right? It's just an opinion of someone. Basically Warren Buffett and Jamie Dimon and these guys all said that this shit's all a scam. And then we come to find out that Jamie Dimon has patents on blockchain technology. So he kind of had to eat crow on that one.
What a jerk.
So,
well,
yeah,
and then now you got Microsoft with the whole ICE development. That's guys, they these occasionally the institutional money, they're also really good at not doing dirty, but like you said, if it's rumor driven, they're really good driving those rumors.
Yeah, I mean, you guys remember too that these futures are traded on the SIBO, and I can get on Interactive Brokers, I can get on TD Ameritrade. There are several platforms I can get on and trade futures, and I can short. If people make money when this happens. People make lots of money when this happens, and then you'll have people exit and cover, and then you'll get little rallies. That's why when I see all this low volume in the market, we call it just noise, because it sucks. Yeah, this isn't fun if you've just been holding the whole time. And in my opinion, you shouldn't just hold all of it. Be tactical with what you're doing. Like when this run up happens, take some of your investment off the table. Don't look for that. We're not going to go from 6,000 to 12,000 in like 2 weeks. That's not really what we're going to see anymore in this market unless massive adoption happens, which we're still not at. Kind of like what Seth's been talking about, like educate your grandma so that she can use it at the grocery store. Next time you go to a restaurant or any type of service place, ask them if they take Bitcoin or crypto. The only places I've been to are Korean barbecues that'll take Bitcoin right down the street from my house.
But not Bitcoin Cash?
No, they'll just take straight Bitcoin, because that's the number one. That's all people know about crypto that aren't in it like we are. Everything is just focused on Bitcoin. So take what people say with a grain of salt, because there's a ton of positive out there still. But yeah, I mean, short term, we're going to be in for a little bit of a ride. And, like right here, this is a great example of, when you start seeing this thing roll over a little bit, just pull a little off the table. I was discussing in our Discord today that, one theory behind this is if I'm long Bitcoin, right, and I put money in somewhere in this range, I ride it up and make a good return, and then I hear that Ethereum Classic is about to get listed on some exchanges, I'm going to sell my Bitcoin and go into Ethereum for a quick run up, and that's what we had happen. We go back to Ethereum, right? So at the same time, basically, that Bitcoin is selling off, we're having the opposite correlation happen in Ethereum Classic, and there's decent volume here. We've seen volume like this only a couple times recently on ETC, back on the sell-off, and then here on another sell-off. So that's an institutional style trading method to, flip your money over here, make 5, 10, 15%, and then boom, sell off when all the suckers, unfortunately, retail people, your everyday Joe, starts buying in on Robinhood and starts buying in on Coinbase. As soon as it hits, boom, that's when people start dumping. That's when the institutional money starts dumping, because in our world, the world I've done in the last 11 years, a 10% return on one trade in a week, that's outstanding. Crypto, we're spoiled. 50% returns in a month, 1,000% returns in a month, that we've seen on different positions, massive returns. People are spoiled. If you make 5% a year or 7% a year in the stock market, those are good returns. So this is like, taking candy from a baby for an institutional trader, and they're just waiting for people to jump in on something like this ETC deal. So we've already seen, a 5-6% pullback from where it was just earlier today, and that's institutional money, in my opinion, and that's not a bad thing. It's a bad thing for your portfolio if you're holding it, but I might have done what I just described myself. No, I didn't tell anyone about that beforehand because, that's just not what a trader would do.
Right. You gotta keep some secrets to yourself.
You'll educate people later, but I think that's what happened. That's my theory. That's what I did. And you basically are just you're chasing heat, it's kind of like selling heat as a salesman, wholesaler. You're going to sell the hottest thing out there. You're chasing heat. So you dump your Bitcoin, you make your profit over the last couple of weeks. You hop into Ethereum Classic, you make this return from 14 to 20 roughly, or whatever it hit. It was at 20. Yeah, here it is. It was up to 21. If you look at this little tiny red line, because I watched it on Robinhood, it got up to about 21. And then boom, that's when you get all the selling.
Nice.
Because it's like, okay, thanks, I appreciate that. Thank you for hopping in there and giving me that big return. So you probably had some miners jumping in here. But this right here, this is more of institutional money. This isn't some, Bitmain mine that was sitting there with ETC rate waiting to dump it all. Bitmain doesn't account for everything that we see, even though we think they're the evil corp, right?
Right.
Take one from Mr. Robot there. But yeah, I wouldn't get too discouraged. I take this as somewhat of a positive that, we are getting this type of movement. Robinhood is one of the fastest growing fintech companies in the whole country and has massive valuation already. And yeah, you've got a lot of people on there. I have a friend that works there, and they said that 60% of all their holdings are crypto. So
nice.
This is a positive thing.
Yeah, that escalated quickly. I mean, they only announced their intention to get into crypto less than 4 months ago, right?
Yeah. So that's a massive shift, and it shows that they're capturing that millennial audience as well as older people. I get asked all the time by 70, 80-year-olds. This might make you feel good, Seth. Some of my older clients are like, tell me about this, Bitcoin stuff, and tell me what it is. And the responses I get aren't like, oh, that's hocus pocus. The response is normally like, how do I get into this?
Nice.
And I can't recommend anything because this isn't regulated. So I just let them know, like, hey, go check out Coinbase, and check out some of these places, CoinDesk, research, and, I can help talk to you about it, steer you the right direction. I've had people call me and say, hey, I want you to buy Ethereum for me in my account. I can't do it.
Wow.
I'd love to, but I can't do it. And so I said, go to Coinbase, make an account, and buy your Ethereum. So don't get too discouraged. Sorry, I'm not reading comments here, but
yeah, no worries. I'll fill you in. There were a couple of questions that I think are relevant, but you were saying don't get too discouraged.
Yeah, I wouldn't get too discouraged, guys. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. Seth's been around this a long time, especially, in the Valley. And I've said it before in our Discord, which if you guys aren't a part of the Mind Your Biz Discord, you definitely should come join there. There's a lot of good information shared. There's a lot of smart people, much smarter than me by far. It's pretty mind-blowing, some of the things that we discuss and pick up on. So definitely come join us and share the wealth of knowledge and, absorb everything you can as well.
Yeah, that said, hold on. I'm gonna really quickly I'm gonna jump out of. Oh, come on now, really? That's not what I meant to do. No, that's not what I. Come on. Oh, geez. You know what I've been trying to do? No. There we go. Hold on. I was going to. There we go. We're going to cut this. And so to your point, I appreciate you talking about the group. And before I let you go, though, man, guys, first off, huge round of applause for Corey. Slam the like button. Be sure you share this video because Corey is one of our hidden gems in the Mind Your Biz community. And he is there as a moderator, like so many other moderators in so many other groups. I mean, there's a handful of people in the crypto space who are moderators who actually make a name for themselves by knowing anything. I think that Corey is known by everybody in our group because he's actually able to speak with some authority and also does this for a living. So absolutely appreciate having you as a moderator in that group. So you're being very humble when you say that you're around people who are always smarter than you. Because I know for a fact when it comes to this stuff, I made a joke in the comments about how your gut can punch all of our guts in the face. You've developed a sixth sense for this stuff, man. So question came up in the comments, and I think I have a sense for what your answer might be, but I'd love to hear from you. Somebody asks about trading bots.
Trading bots. So I was really interested in trading bots, actually. There was one called, it was an Australian-based company. I can't remember what it was called. It was like something Hopper. Right? Trade Hopper, I think.
Yes.
And it looked really interesting. And it's just the thing about that and algorithmic trading is algorithms are developed by people. There are going to be flaws, so, and I've dealt with it in my experience, with multi-billion-dollar, strategies. Eventually an algorithm will fail. I've seen it time and time again. Managed futures, algorithms, flash trading. Eventually, because the markets change so quickly, especially crypto is like just the most insane thing I've ever seen. Tech bubble, this blows tech bubble away because the ICOs just blew away how the IPOs worked back then. Yes, you can make some money with trading bots, but you're setting the trading bot up in a lot of these cases. With that crypto Hopper or whatever it was, you could pick somebody's performance that has a great track record. The thing about a track record is it's a track record. So tomorrow could be the day that track record falls, doesn't go to the moon. It comes back and, it misses the Elon Musk, landing pad in the ocean. So I would be careful with that type of thing. I've seen the subscription fees. It's very cheap, but I personally would rather just do it myself. Having a bot that's trading in and out, especially when commissions are involved, at the end of the day, you feel like you've made some money, but when you tally up all of the commissions, you're in the red. You're not in the black. We want to be in the black. It's not the green, guys. It's the black. It's just like ROI isn't what I made today. ROI is what you made after all your expenses are done and paid for, right? So that's break even, which Seth and I joke a lot about. So
the thing is, we can't push that point too hard because it's as a cultural precedent, ROI just means something different in mining.
Yeah, but trading bots, you can make money, but I personally wouldn't trade that way because those bots are going 24 hours, 7 days a week on crypto. So when it's all said and done, if you make $100 and you did like 60 trades in a week, you probably would have just sat in whatever underlying asset you were in and made more money because you're getting out on every little thing. And I like to hold a little bit longer unless I see something noticeable, unless I see a peak that's starting to roll over, time to get out. Seth joked about the gut. I brought up, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. If you have a gut feeling that things aren't going well, get out, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your portfolio. You can't blame anybody else. If your gut says get out, you can live with that decision. If you miss out on a 10% move up, who cares? Because one of those times your gut's going to say get out and it's going to go down 50. It's going to make up for every 5-10% move that you missed out on. A trading bot isn't going to do that. Trading bot is going to do exactly what it's told, just like a computer, and there's no emotion, nothing. It executes, it's done. So that's what I have to say about an algorithmic type trading strategy. They eventually will lose.
Nice. Nice, nice. And then I've got one last question for you, man, because I know again I know I got to let you go a little earlier tonight, but question is, and you don't need to show anything, but I've heard tell you have a secret sauce that there may or may not be. There may or may not be a visual representation or a tool that you use. It's kind of secret. You don't have to show it tonight. I'm not even going to ask you to. But I'm wondering, is it true that you have your own secret tool that is just not shown anywhere else and that only you use?
This is something actually I use every day in the stock market too. And this is something proprietary to me that I've developed that I've been quiet about even at work so that they can't, hi, whoever's watching me from work.
Right. Yeah.
That way they can't take it from me. But I do have something I've set up I've done plenty of back testing on it and plenty of just everyday testing on it. And it does apply to crypto as well. You want to call that my pill, that's my get out of town, get out of Dodge is what I like to say. If that breaks that level, I probably won't even mind. Like,
just pack it all in, be like, crypto's a sham. I'm done.
But the good news there is there will be a time when some other proprietary things I've developed will signal to green light that again, because crypto's not going away, guys. If CNBC guy said we're going to break 5,000, it's going to be a bloodbath. Well, yeah, it's going to be a bloodbath. But anyone that's experienced, that's older, anytime there's a crash, it's just the evolution of a market. Saturday Night Live skit years ago, it's really hard to find online. They were doing a spoof of Schwab, and it's like, they're basically saying we knew the market was going to crash, so we needed to sell stock to somebody, so we sold it to our clients, and we made the money and you lost the money. That's not that far-fetched, really, from institutional trading to a point, sadly. Not what I'm doing, but, at Goldman Sachs, these big guys. Markets crash, markets go down, markets go up, but in the long run, markets go up. And that's historical proof in the stock market. And unless all countries ban crypto, we're not going to just never go back up. So don't get too upset, but also don't overextend yourself and don't be stupid. The whole hodl thing, which I hate saying, the whole, holding and being long something, you need to set your threshold as an individual. How much money am I willing to lose? Don't be betting your house on this. Don't be buying crypto. Don't be buying Bitcoin on your credit card. That I can't get on board with that unless we've absolutely bottomed and you just want to leverage yourself, to try to go to the moon on a recovery. If it went to like 1,000, it's like, I'm going to load this credit card up with 0% interest and be a millionaire in a month. Just don't do it. Just spend what you can, but be smart. Don't sit there like an idiot and wear the hodl shirt. You can hodl all the way down and lose half the money. And then you're going to get out because you're emotional. And then that when you get out, we always say the market wants you to quit, because it does. Because at the last second, the last retail guy gets out, that's when institutional buying comes in and you're scared to get back in. And in the stock market, we saw that 100% recovery from the bottom. And grandma, grandpa, they sold out. They were scared. They never got back in. They never made that recovery. Other people took years to get back in. Institutional guys, what I do for a living, we were back in at the beginning of 2009, ready to rock and ride it all the way back up. So you got to think more long-term like that. Don't think short-term, 1 week at a time. It's just going to drive you crazy. Some of the money I have sitting in crypto, I don't even look at it unless I need to buy hardware or, I'm working on building infrastructure for my own mining. Outside of that, I try not to even look at it because if it moves 5% a day, it's like whatever. By the time I wake up, it'll be up 10 and I'm up 5. And I went to bed thinking I was down 5. it's like, don't even look, but be smart about it. Have your thresholds, have your limits, and play it that way.
Nice. Well, hey, Corey, I'm curious. If we wanted to continue doing a series, first off, guys, give Corey some love in the comments. Make sure if this has been helpful for you, go ahead and throw throw number 5 in the comments. Right, that number has come up a lot. Throw number 5 in the comments if this has been helpful for you, and we'll talk about in the future, because BitTube is debuting, and we're on YouTube today, but because BitTube is debuting their airtime feature, they're also debuting the premium content feature. How do you guys feel about doing a course where you can learn a little more from Corey? Again, for my part, I have to do a disclaimer statement, and that is to say that on my channel, that I do not promote any kind of legal, financial, investing, or other professional advice. What you've heard from Corey, he is uniquely qualified to talk about, but apropos of this channel, vis-a-vis this channel, this is not intended to be advice, guys. It's not intended to be investment advice on my channel per se. However, how do you guys feel about taking a course from Corey where you perhaps could receive qualified advice? Tell me in the comments. But Corey, any parting words of wisdom, and where can people find you if they want to get some of your time or want to talk to you about real strategy, right? So actually like getting hands dirty side by side with you.
Appreciate all the 5s, guys. I'm in Mind Your Biz Discord every single day and night when, even at work, when I've got time, when I've got any free time, I'm on Discord, talking with people and giving and getting advice. So that's the easiest place to find me. If anyone lives in Florida, be more than happy, Central Florida, to meet with people in person if they'd like. But the Mind Your Biz Discord is the easiest and best place to come and find me. And I make myself very accessible to everybody there.
Okay, awesome. Reynaldo, you ask if Corey has a YouTube channel. I think actually you do, right? But it's for something else, isn't it?
I do. I do. I'm in my little simulator thing here for iRacing, which is a car simulator.
Oh, you got it.
I used to race cars.
Man,
so
you got to turn the webcam. We got to see it because I've seen it.
Oh man, hold on. I think this one's on. Hold on. And I was streaming for a while. I've had to cut back with the kids. There we go. It's pretty overexposed, but this will give you an idea.
Nice.
I couldn't see the where is that camera? Can you see that?
Yeah, no, at the over the shoulder shot. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, so this is when I have little free time, which isn't very often. You can see I have a dash right here. I've got 4 monitors. Yeah, now I can see it on the screen now. Yeah. So this is an industrial motor that puts off 20 Newton meters of torque.
Holy
cow. A lot. So, and I have hydraulic pedals. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Very, very cool.
So yeah, my YouTube isn't like, I've been just doing, I did all my like streaming and stuff on there, and I just do my documenting my small little mining facility I've been doing. So Seth,
nice.
Where it's at.
Oh no! Hey, everybody wants to know. So, geodesic mining is the name of the sub channel that we have over in Mind Your Biz, guys. And I think that's the name of the mining operation that you're running, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, obviously, we want to hear some updates there. Can we bring you on to one of the Monday shows where you can show us a little more? Do a walkthrough of the mine?
Yeah, sure.
He's like, no, I might melt from exposure to Christie.
No. I'm not scared of that.
We've had guests that are. I don't know why. It's like, dude, okay.
It takes a lot to get to me.
Awesome. Well, hey guys, give Corey a healthy send off. Give him all the applause. Smash the likes. Go say, hey, what's up, Corey? Join the Mind Your Biz Discord, and we've got to Gotta do stickies or something. Pin some donation addresses there. But definitely send us some Ethereum, send us some ETC right today, just for kicks. In honor of
liquidate.
Right.
Just kidding.
You'll be like,
Buy
thanks.
the dips.
Yeah, insta dump.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys having me and enjoyed the time. It's fun. I was like, Seth knows I can just go down. I can go down the rabbit hole with him, and he's like, I think I have a phone call coming in. Gotta go. I think my grandmother needs my help. Gotta go.
Well, it's actually my wife tonight. We're moving into a new place, man. I've got to do the walk. They're going to show you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I just took the keys to the brand new place. So we're like,
I was going to make a joke that you had like a bunch of shipping containers, a bunch of Connex underground, and you welded them all together. And like one room was like your mining room, and then another room is your production room.
I mean,
it's like this military bunker underground, you know?
I'm not going to deny that is on the roadmap.
That would be really cool. Just don't bury it too deep. I've been looking into it. There's too much pressure on the walls, all this crap.
Yeah, but I mean, you can do a couple different kinds of membranes so that when you bury to the right depth, it's like,
yep,
yeah, perfect. Oh man, no, you're not kidding. That is a rabbit hole. All right, guys, give Corey all the love. Make sure you say hello over in Mind Your Biz, and please, by all means, somebody buy this man a beer in Ethereum or something. All right, Corey, thanks so much, man.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
All right, guys. So I've closed that down, but we still have a little bit to talk about tonight. I mentioned we would do an end of day recap of Ethereum Classic. Travis, you just missed everything that we were talking about with Corey. Okay, I see. What the? Okay, there we go. I kind of see. I'm still going. Got a little bit of a freeze there. Yes, Travis, you are too late. I'm sorry. Give another quick shout out to Travis Guerra in the comments right there. How have I not moderated you, dude? Moderator-rated. Okay. Travis, you are moderator-rated. There you go. So shout out to Travis Guerra, our moderator in the Facebook group MineYour.biz on Facebook. If you ever ask questions about mining or you have questions about AMD BIOS modding, you're probably going to talk to Travis over there. And the reality is in Discord, he's extremely active there as well. So you hear from both of them. Super cool guys, members of our community, and I thoroughly appreciate them both. So guys, let's talk a little bit about, let's kind of close out the day. Accountability time, right? We made some guesses, and for my part, I have to just call it a guess, right? I can't say it's qualified advice of any kind. Yes, Travis, guys, I've got to warn you. Travis wields the ban hammer with an iron fist. So he's a very good moderator. But you can't have him. See that? I will ban you from having my ban hammer wielder. So, hey, do me a solid, Travis. We got questions about the Facebook Mind Your Biz group there. If you wouldn't mind forwarding the link there in the comments, that'd be awesome. But guys, Jake, yeah, ETC going to $100 soon. I think we determined that today was bloody, raw, messy. Whew, yeah. So high hopes for ETC. First off, stacked ranking changed, right? So Ethereum Classic, I want to say, was in the 11th spot in this morning, ahead of Tron. Tron overtook it. I think the way they've got that ranked is because of the price action. I let Corey go too soon, but I think that's how how that spot has been shifted, because clearly the volume isn't necessarily higher, and the market cap. No, I guess the market cap shifted there. It says it right there. Market cap shifted, so it is a slightly higher market cap here. But yeah, Yankee, I'm with you. This is a bummer. We've been mining Ethereum Classic for weeks. Somebody said this morning, about a month, right, that we've seen that it's been dancing, kind of flirting with the top spot on whattomine.com and various other crypto profitability mining profitability calculators. We've kind of seen that Ethereum Classic has been a pretty good bet in terms of mining, but socking it away in anticipation of today. Yeah, today it's painful. It's a tough one today. It's an emotional day. Emotional day for anybody who's been mining Ethereum Classic. And like Corey joked about, I mean, Sure, there have been some people who've been mining it, waiting for this moment so they could dump it. But that doesn't describe all of us, right? Some of us have been mining it thinking, all right, cool, this is the Ethereum that's for miners, so this is going to be great. But there you guys have it right there. A little bit of a shift. Down, drops a spot in the stacked ranking to number 12. And it's in not too terrible company right there next to Monero. Frankly, I'd love to see both of them rise in the rankings because of their GPU mineability. Oh no, Travis mentioned that his internet connection is down. Guys, you need fallback internet connection for your mining rigs, or for your small gardens, or for your mining, especially for your large scale mining operations. You've got to use fallback internet connections, and you've got to start paying attention to the network, air quotes, network fabric of your mining operation, because latency on your network, and obviously blackouts, internet blackouts, it's gonna give you a bad day, give you a headache. All right, so I'm gonna jump into the Ethereum Classic page on CoinMarketCap here. Dang, down 14%. Okay, we're back up to $17. When I tuned in earlier, it was low. It was really low. But let's take a look at the 7-day to kind of get a sense for what it's looked like over the last 7 days. And to the 1 day, let's kind of check to see what's the deal. B-Rye is not wrong. You totally could. Just ask them, right? And straight up ask them. You don't even have to steal it. Just ask. Head over to the hardware store, grab a 100-foot Ethernet cable, and pull it over to your own router. And then you can secure your own network on your own router, right? So make sure that it's safe. But I mean, if push comes to shove, right? Desperate times call for desperate measures. Get that money. But right here, we see the last day. Volume looks like it's about the same. It's been consistent leading up to today. So there you go. Faded guessed 18. And I mean, Faded is pretty close. Here you go, Faded, you win. You probably guessed closest. Somebody did guess 15, but we didn't. Did we get close to 15? Let's take a look here. I don't think quite. Nope, didn't dip below even $16.50. So 18 it is. All right, guys. Somebody shoot Faded somebody shoot Faded 0.2 Ethereum Classic, or I don't know, whatever we got lying around. That's going to be the joke of the day, right? None of us is actually going to transfer each other. None of us is going to dust each other any ETC. Just because we're it needs to go back up. I worked too hard for this. So we're not hodling. We're clutching. Come on. So interesting times here with Ethereum Classic. I don't know. We'll see. For my part, I think that Tron is an interesting project, but I think that Ethereum Classic, being a GPU mineable alt, probably deserves those top spots a little better. Granted, my worldview is kind of a little bit more intently focused on mining, as you guys know. So let's jump over here. I promised to do this earlier today, make some changes to the Mine Your Biz GPU efficiency chart. And I'm right here on mineyour.biz. When you go to mine, hover over GPU charts, it pulls open this page. I've still got the tutorial video there, older video, but it still applies. However, I've made some changes today that you need to know. You need to know about these changes. They're kind of big. They are. But mineyour.biz /optimized mining efficiency. Let me just drop that into the comments section if you want to follow along. Come on, really? Why would you do that? Why would you do that, YouTube? This is my stream. Oh my gosh. Hey, Myron, I see your comment, and we'll come back to that. This is our regularly scheduled content. We will take some curveballs tonight, so just know that is a curveball, and we will get to it, though. We will, and we'll knock it out of the park. Gosh darn it, it'll be huge. So if you guys want to check this out, I think I've got this is the other reason I make short links, guys, for everything, is just in case I get shut down. There we go. That ought to do it too. Let me just double check. GPU charts. Go to site. Boom. All right. So that works. All right. And yeah, Travis, I'm with you. I do think that the mining community is onto something really, really big. We're drawing together in a way that has never really happened before with mining. And granted, there's such a thing as selfish mining, and we do consider competition, a bit like how Corey was saying with using certain tools and knowing how to read markets in a certain way. Like, you do want to offer yourself a competitive advantage because, I mean, frankly, if you die, you can't help anyone. So you do have to, you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the community to excel at whatever you're doing. So we do I think we do push really hard to maintain a competitive advantage, but we're coming together in a way that I don't think we ever have before as a mining community. Didn't see this with Bitcoin, didn't see this with Litecoin, not quite the same way. And now even with the FPGAs, the sharing of bit streams and the sharing of information, it is next level. So yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens in the near future too. Though I imagine that the future rhymes with Canary Coin. I don't know. A little birdie told me. Yeah. I know. Dad jokes. I has them. So here I am over on the GPU efficiency charts, and I've got the same 3 tabs, the data tab right here. I've added 4 new cards though, and this is kind of what makes it special. This morning somebody said like, hey, it might be a good idea to have a little more info before you talk about cards like the P104. That's not always possible, guys. It can be difficult to aggregate all the data, and I need to do still a little bit of trimming with some of this data. I might do some of that live right now in the live stream, but prices, they change rapidly, and I adjusted all the prices from the R9 280X all the way through to the RX 470 series cards. Yeah, Mo, we get a little silly on this live stream. There are a lot of people who just take themselves way too seriously in life. I am not one of them. In case you haven't noticed, folks, I don't take myself that seriously. I mean, let's face it. Why complain? Doesn't change anything when you do. And frankly, life is too short. None of us gets out alive. Just learn to laugh at yourself just a little bit. So yeah, Izzy, let's throw out all of our generic advice down in the comments. A bird in hand is worth 2 in the bush. What are some other great platitudes that we can give each other? Yeah, hey Travis, sometimes days like today give all of us that butt feeling where it's like, yes, absolutely, this market has turned my gut feeling into a butt feeling, and I probably need to go change my shorts because holy crap, this has been terrible, and I just soiled myself. Yeah. Anyway, but I really appreciated Corey's message, guys. What a great guy. Appreciate having Corey around in the Discord channel. Appreciate having Travis in the Facebook group because we have such great resources there. But having Corey onto the show and talking about how basically, I mean, in essence, what I draw from Corey's analysis is that we can have hope that things are going to be okay, right? So things are going to be okay. And all that mining on ETC, not wasted. Yes, guys, keep them coming. I love this. I love the fortune cookie wisdom we have going down in the comments. And we need a lot more of this. Frankly, we do. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Nice. Yeah, that sounds kind of rapey. That's like my accusation of everybody that comes on my show now. That's rapey. Or racist. Like, that's racist. That's racist and rapey. So on the GPU efficiency charts, guys, I added 4 new models. And if you've jumped in, I've noticed a few people have already jumped in. We've got a couple extra viewers here. I added the RX 470 mining edition. So beyond the 478 gig, there's the 470 mining edition that is a 4 gig card. Is a 4 gig card good still? Actually, yes, it is. It's still good enough for Ethereum, and it's still good enough for most algorithms. There may be some algorithms for which it's not okay. Zhash is still okay, though. 2 gig cards? Nope. You can't do Zhash anymore. Oh, yeah, Myron, that's a word, though. It's a thing, right? I can pop it open in Urban Dictionary. It must be a real word. Rapey definition. Your dictionary. It's pretty, it's bad. I'm leaving it alone now. All right. I've already said that word too many times in one live stream. And yes, Jake, there is never a bad time to use that comeback. People are like, I don't know, the market looks down. You can just look at them dead in the eyes and be like, that's racist. So I dare you to try it sometime at a dinner party. It's going to be awesome. I don't care where you are in the country. It works better in the South. But guys, I've added 4 new cards. One of them is the RX 470 Mining Edition. The other 3 are the P102, the P104, and the P106. Yeah, James, I'm with you. I already stopped. I stopped like 5 minutes ago. That's like totally yesterday. It's totally 5 minutes ago. So the P104, the P102, the P106, these are the mining versions of the GTX 1080 and the 1080 core, the GTX 1070, and the GTX 1060. These aren't like TI edition cards, but these are the mining versions of the flagship GTX desktop parts. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jake. Yeah, if you can fully translate it to Spanish. Eso es racista. Oye. ¿Eres racista? Eh? Yeah, hey, Myron. Yeah, people in San Francisco are still saying hella everything. That's crazy. It's like people in Australia say as, right? Dash AS to everything. They add it to the back of everything. And not to be confused with the 3-letter curse word referring to your derriere, but like as though it were a simile. As something is as big as a house. But you can say that a house is big as. It's crazy. But I love Aussies. They're great. So, and I don't say that like metaphorically. I literally love Aussies. I'm in love with Australia. The idea of Australia gets me excited. So, guys, the other 3 cards are the P102, the P104, the P106. And I have them right next to their respective additional part numbers right here. So, and I've basically renamed them 1080 P102 because I want there to be some clarity as to where these parts come from. Travis is asking, can you game on a mining card? You can if there's a video output, and if that's what you want to do. And yes, Travis, I do agree. You like to do everything wrong. It's a good thing you don't always follow that instinct, because I feel your pain. I like doing certain things wrong, but only life decisions. That's what I do wrong. And then when people make fun, it's like, no one's got life figured out. You just kind of like walk it back a little. No one's got everything figured out. To pay no attention to my life choices. So the 1080 P102 is what I'm calling that, so that we just sort of have some clarity for our own minds that the P102 is essentially a 1080. Reynaldo, thank you. This is never going to happen. I'm never going to finish an idea. But over here, the P104 is essentially a 1070. And then the P106 is essentially a 1060. So I'm just calling them 1060, 1070, 1080, and then putting that behind the name of the card, just so we're aware mentally that these are the versions of these cards, of the hardware that we're working with. The P106 actually doesn't do all that much better than the GTX 1060 on mining numbers. I actually just copied the numbers because the performance is largely the same. What is slightly different is some of the efficiency you can get if you're really aggressive at pushing your overclock and undervolt numbers and you know what you're doing. The P104, rather efficient, much better than the 1070. Why? That's because it has GDDR5X memory. So with firmware hacks and with ETH enlargement, you can do much better. So on that 1070 core, you're doing like 30 mega hashes per second. Even on the 1070 Ti, you're doing like 32. But on the P104, as you know, with the custom firmware that Minority will offer when you host with Minority or when you do the bulk sale. When you go with the group buy that we're organizing, you will get a custom firmware to pump that up to 44 mega hashes per second. Now, you can normally do about 40 mega hashes per second with that part. Already an amazing increase over the 1070. And then with the P102, you're looking at somebody already jumped into it. You're looking at about 47 mega hashes per second over the baseline number of about 40 from the 1080 with ETH enlargement. Yankee's asking, is the P104 a dual 8-pin? No, it is not. It is a single 8-pin. Single 8-pin card. Ooh. Now consider that so is the 1060. The power consumption on both those parts is somewhat similar, not exactly the same. You'll notice right here, though, that the 1070 P104, that you can occasionally achieve a minimum power consumption of about 65 watts. That is if you are an absolute like wizard ninja at your overclock undervolting, but there is evidence of it happening. There's evidence of it actually working. You're in the same territory as, say, a P106 or a GTX 1060 in that case, but then you are kicking butt and taking names with the hash rate. Guys, the 1070 is a phenomenal card. If you wonder why I brought it up before, that's why. And you see the numbers here. So we go over to the calculators and we solve for top of the list. We're going to see how this goes. Now, first off, I have renamed the tabs here. We've got the bang for the buck, and we've got efficiency per watt, and I've reordered this just a little bit. Efficiency per watt is now expressed as mega hash or hash per watt, or souls per watt, as opposed to how I had it before, watts per hash. And it's okay. It's the exact same ratio, guys, right? It doesn't matter which side of the equation you put it on. It's the exact same ratio. It's just expressed differently, right? But I've chosen to put it this way now. We have to solve for it a little bit differently than you used to do. So looking at Equihash, I'm probably going to change these numbers to Zhash, I think, down the line, because I just don't think that even bothering to put Equihash here makes sense. So I apologize that I didn't get that done before the live stream tonight. My children need to see me before they go to bed. That might already be too late, but I wanted to try to like not work all night tonight. I will change Equihash here to Zhash instead. There's no point in putting Equihash on a GPU mining efficiency chart, because anybody who's mining Equihash with a GPU didn't get the memo. So Zhash is what we'll put there instead. But over on efficiency per watt, going to go this way instead, sort sheet Z to A. And what sorting sheet Z to A is going to do is it's going to show me which one gives me the most souls per watt, right? So this is the highest souls per watt. See right there, instead of lowest to highest, it's highest to lowest. Right there, top of the list in this case is the P106. It's pretty impressive, but actually tied with the P104. They are neck and neck. Tied. Going over to Ethereum, Z to A. P106, P104, and P102 all tied. All of them are tied for efficiency. Think about this, guys. These are mining parts. How would they not have been engineered from day one to be the most efficient cards on the market? Because they are. Most efficient cards on the market. When we're looking at the efficiency tab, these are parts that are being sold to miners, not to gamers, not to business people that want to resell, not to people that are dipping their toe in the mining water and thinking maybe I'll go ahead and I'll liquidate all of my assets here from like all of my equipment if I have a bad quarter and I just decide I don't feel like mining anymore. This isn't right for me. No, these are for mining. People who are serious about mining and mining and mining bigly. Huge. All right. So I'm not shocked to see that this is the case. And no, I didn't manipulate the data tab to force this card. I just threw in the numbers as they pan out. And they happen to be a percentage increase over the base chipsets that they use on the consumer parts. So like with the 1080, even ETH large to 40 mega hashes per second, the P102 ships at 47 mega hashes per second. I haven't talked to Christy to see if there's any additional efficiency that can be wrung out of this part. But at that ratio, it holds that performance lead over the GTX 1080 across the board, all the way through to NIST 5, Zevin, and Phi 1612. So huge performer there. But yeah, is anyone shocked, guys? I mean, this makes sense, doesn't it? Like that the mining parts would be ultra efficient at mining. And when you look at the top of the list for any of the AMD parts, what's at the top of the list? RX 470 Mining Edition. Not a shock, right? I mean, it's really shouldn't be too big of a shock. All right, guys. So, oh man, those numbers at the top of the screen just hurt. Seeing BTC take such a nosedive, seeing Ethereum down so far, even XMR, seeing it drop so much. That's painful, guys. Sorry about that. My heart is in pain as well. So Mossy is asking, aren't most NVIDIA cards losing to AMD right now? I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Guys, I've talked about it before on the show. I'm quite an AMD fan. When it comes to this, Izzy, I appreciate that. So yeah, I appreciate you the praise there. But right here, top of each one of the lists, both for NVIDIA and then for AMD, are the mining edition cards. I'm a big fan of AMD, and there are some areas in which it does really well. If we solve over here for Kryptonite and go Z to A, they're still at the top of the list. Still see the Vega 56, top of the list. And at $500, where you can find it now, it is huge. Travis is asking if I looked at the RX 560. Yes, it's on the list. The 560 was added not too long ago, but even then, for Kryptonite, it doesn't quite go as high on the list in terms of top performers for efficiency as you might think. Mossy is saying CN variants pay good right now, even with the drop over the past few weeks. Myron's right. I am AMD racist. I like red better than green, which is I'm self-loathing because my skin tone is actually kind of green. Anyway, but yeah, solving for Kryptonite, AMD is high on the list, but the 550 actually does better than the 560, believe it or not. Pretty crazy. Osiris, let's tackle that one head on. Rumors of the NVIDIA 1100 series. I've said multiple times that I am doubtful as to what the name is because NVIDIA hasn't gone on record. NVIDIA themselves haven't gone on record as labeling it the 1100 series. So I don't even know what they're called. And then there are rumors that it's going to be announced at the end of the month at the show in Germany. That may well be true. That's always possible that it's true. But what I can personally surmise, what I'm personally going to guess, is that the mining performance, though it might be impressive, I don't think we're going to find that the bang for the buck or the efficiency per watt is that much better than our currently available options. I think we're going to find that power consumption goes up to make up for some of the mining gains. Not completely, they're going to be efficient, but mining hash power will go up. But I suspect we're going to see that power consumption goes up as well. Not linearly, but it is going to go up as well. And then on the bang for the buck tab that I wanted to get to here, I think what we're going to find is that the next generation of NVIDIA cards we're going to be sticker shocked. I really believe that. So we were sticker shocked by GPU prices the beginning of this year. I think we're going to find this is a new product launched by NVIDIA. I mean, let's be real. The 980 Ti, when it launched, do you guys remember how much that cost? Do you remember how much people overpaid? Yeah, the 1080 Ti, when it launched, how much people paid? Buying from NVIDIA directly, sure, you could get it for close to $700 when you could find it in stock or when you can get them to send you a couple at a time. But wow, no, when a new card drops from NVIDIA, it's never cheap. Ever. So if you know that you need new equipment, I would definitely look to see what is available now. And if it's a question of getting flipping your fiat into equipment so you can then get that equipment to create crypto for you for forever. Again, I'm going to talk about Jared from Digital Gold. He came onto the show and said, yeah, I've got R9 parts. They're still mining. Yeah, I've got HD 7900 parts that are still mining. And if a fan breaks, I just replace the fan. If the heatsink needs to be re-greased, I re-grease the heatsink. And then we're back off to the races. He even mentioned doing some old school stuff where you have where you've got a little bit of solder that comes loose. You might have capacitors that have kind of like become unseated from the board, and you bake the main board to get things to kind of settle just a little bit and get your connectors to reconnect a little more firmly. And he's brought cards back to life using some of those old school hacks. So people who know, they mine on their cards until they are absolutely destroyed, until they're shredded. So I would definitely say, look at older cards now and look at top performers now. And if you know that you're going to just mine with them, then mine with stuff that mines well and is going to mine well for the long haul. Look at the efficiency per watt. look at the bang for the buck. How many hashes you get for every dollar spent. All right, so guys, what I'm going to look at right now, really fast, is the mega hash per dollar. We also solve backwards on this one. Kind of weird, but we sort Z to A. So we want a bigger number is what I'm saying, and it's no longer expressed in a dollar amount. I changed this just a little bit differently. So, Derek Ivory says he just got rid of his 7850s. Must have been painful. Those were, I want to say, were those 3 gig parts or were those 2 gig parts? Because I know the 7950s were 3 gig parts, if I remember correctly. So, and then same with the R9 280Xs, 3 gig cards. So right here, top of the list, guys, still the R9 290. Crazy, right? That you can get a high hash rate for a cheap amount by getting the R9 290. Now you got to go and you've got to get really cheap power in order to make that worth your time. Because over here, solving for efficiency per watt on this list, the R9 290, it's pretty low on the list, right? Bottom 25%. Hey, Derek, yeah, I forgot about that. So, yeah, they did increase it for the HD7900 series, I believe. So HD7950 is a 3 gig part, but yeah, recent algorithm changes must have booted the 7850s. It's too bad. But if there are algorithms that still mine efficiently, then yeah, do it. But guys, right here, you see that R9 290, not the most efficient player. So if you know you've got really cheap power somewhere or colocation, then by all means, put it out to pasture at a colocation facility. Might not be mining super efficiently, but if it's paid off, if it's broken even, then what the heck? You're not losing any money at all. All you're worried about is your OPEX, right? Your operational expense ongoing by having it hosted. So that might be a way to go. Again, ultra disclaimer, I'm not giving you financial investment or business advice. Do your own research, do your own due diligence, and especially when you're looking at colocation facilities, really pay attention to who is taking care of your gear and make sure that they're on the up and up. There are a lot of shady people out there. And we did Scam Buster Saturdays for the first time ever. Thank you so much. I want to say it was our RSXA that from the Discord channel that gave the idea for that show. Really appreciate that. But there are some co-location scams out there too, guys, where people will ask you to send your stuff and all you get is a bill of goods. So be really careful about where you find places to do co-location. And we, again, like Travis mentioned before, we got to take care of each other. We got to make sure that we're looking out for each other because nothing cool about ripping people off. All right, so the R9 290, bottom 25%, bottom of the stacked ranking here. But bang for the buck, it's a cheap way to get hashing on Ethereum. RX 580, probably a bit better. Still pretty cheap, but you see right here, about the same as, say, an R9 380. Kind of weird to have those right next to each other, right? Hey, Yankee's in the comments talking about building out co-location. Remind us, Yankee, you're in North Carolina. So whereabouts? So you're near the Raleigh area? Give us a kind of a general vicinity if there's maybe a safe location to do a drop-off. But anybody who's near the North Carolina area, got Yankee there. And I've seen the racks that Yankee is building out. I've seen the boxes that Yankee, the hosts that Yankee is putting GPUs into. Solid operation he's got going on over there. But also down, he's in our Discord channel frequently, so you can chat with him, voice over there to make sure that actually happens. And I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's trying to hide. So it seems like that's one safe bet right there for co-location. But guys, top of the list here is on bang for the buck. It's not always a question of getting the most efficient card. All right, Raleigh, cool. Very cool. Man, I got a sister out in Chapel Hill. I got to visit. Got to visit next time I'm out there, man. Yeah, I'll have to go do lunch sometime. But still top of the list, bang for the buck, RX 470 and the RX 470 mining edition. That's pretty cool, right? That's really impressive. But what's this? Not too far behind it. Top of the stack for Team Green, P104. Guys, P104. And I put, because I know it's possible to get them at this price, I put the price that has been mentioned in the group. Now, that is subject to change. It might change, but I'll put it this way. $25 more than that, at about $500 is where you'll find it everywhere else if you can find the P104 at all. It's very hard to find right now. It's a very rare card, actually. The P102 there was a limited run. P106, there's a lot of them, but they really don't perform all that much better than the GTX 1060, which I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of the GTX 1060. The P106 is really not all that much better. And then the resale value is kind of decreased a little bit, and it costs about the same to get that card. On the P104, it's a slightly better value. Yeah, it costs a little more than the 1070, but it vastly outperforms it at that price. So it kind of smokes it in terms of bang for the buck, and it smokes it in terms of efficiency. It's on average about 2.5 watts, just across the board, on average about 2.5 watts more efficient across all the algorithms. So the P104 is a phenomenal part, and it's not just in between the P106 and the P102. It kind of leans towards the performance of the P102 at the price that's much closer to the P106. So, guys, why did I look at the P104? Because it absolutely freaking shreds. P104 is a very impressive card, and it kind of was under my radar for a long time until I had this business associate who was like, hey, Seth, I've got a bunch of these left over. So let's take a look at these. I'm impressed. Now, am I still Team Red? Absolutely. Do I think that the RX 470s are a great mining card? Of course. You guys see BBT Carter, his 2500 GPU farm is primarily populated with RX 470 mining cards. And I think that he's done a very smart thing there. He's got very efficient cards in his mining farm. But when I found the P104, and then when Christy told me it was possible to do 44 mega hashes using custom firmware, my first thought was like, this is a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Who wouldn't want to get 44 mega hashes at that price? It'd be crazy not to. So, and then looking at the mining profitability being what it is, yeah, I just like, again, you guys, you know how I like to flip the data. Efficiency per watt and then bang for the buck. And when I see the P104 trending high in both, yeah, my ears perk up and I think, tell me more. What more do I need to know about this? So bang for the buck, that's just on Ethereum, guys. Let's take a look at Equihash right now. Sorting Z to A. Hey! P104 on Team Green. But P104 on Team Green is really high. And as you know, with Zhash, there are some AMD miners for Zhash, but Zhash and Equihash, they tend to be a little bit better on NVIDIA, especially so on the P104. Efficiency per watt, let's go over to our souls per watt. And we should see Team Green be at the top of the list here as well. P106, P104, P102 in that order. But as we saw before, P106 and P104 are tied. They are deadlocked, tied. Let's go over to Kryptonite, guys. I haven't put in any of the Kryptonite variants here, but let's look at this. What? Team Green, top 5. Dethroned the Vega Frontier Edition in terms of efficiency for Kryptonite. Who does that? Mining Edition NVIDIA cards do. That's who does. So P106 and P102, again, deadlocked right there. Extremely close in their efficiencies across all algorithms. Bang for the buck. Let's go over to Kryptonite there. And it's a different story here, right? So we do see that it is a little bit less. But Travis, you're asking for where power measurements come from. And these power measurements come from a known high, either from the manufacturer's spec for consumption. In some cases, we have to go with TDP until we get better numbers from the community. This is why it's so important, guys. Sharing is caring. If you know that you have good numbers here, then I'm asking you to contribute. Derek's not wrong. The RX 550 is an impressive card. Bus powered. Just throw it onto the PCI Express slot, and it runs. It mines. It's an impressive card. But if you don't have a ton of PCI Express risers lying around, then, or you want to go strictly with riserless motherboards, you might want to get a little bit more hash power per slot on a riserless system, because you're going to be paying more for your mining OS licenses, whether it's Windows or whether it's Simple Mining or it's Hive OS, which as you guys know, I endorse very highly. I think Hive OS is phenomenal software. And I'm not alone. There are a lot of people who really like Hive OS, especially with the version 2.0 that's in beta now. Has anyone tried version 2.0 of Hive OS? Tell me down in the comments. And while you do, if you haven't tried it, you can try Hive OS right there on bit.ly/get_HiveOS. But disclosure, that is an affiliate link. So Frontier Edition says it's over 200 watts. I pull only 130 watts on Crypto Night. However, hey, Mossy, you're right. You're right. V7 is about 200 hashes. Here's the thing. The average here, I'll go through the data tab so you kind of understand a little better what the methodology is. The data tab here shows a power minimum and a power maximum. Vega FE, I've got about 180 there. I could append that if you'd like. I could bring that down just a little bit. Say you're doing 130 watts. Let me put 130 watts on both. It's going to bring our averages down to about 215. I think it's probably safe for us to presume that you should be able to get your Vega 56 down to 130 and your Vega 64 down to about 130 as well. So let's drop that in. So Izzy's asking about HiveOS. Why is it better? Is the hash rate different? No, the mining software that it uses is about the same. It is a version of Ubuntu Linux that can run on a thumb drive very safely. So an 8 gig thumb drive, so you can flash them really fast and you can just swap these out. Get the, the $5-6 flash drives from Amazon or get them in bulk somewhere else for about $3-4 if you really want. Better to get kind of nicer flash drives though. You get a slightly lower failure rate. But HiveOS is very easy to administer. HiveOS is very, very easy to administer. So if you know you've got multiple rigs with multiple cards, or you need to admin for somebody else, it just really takes away a lot of the headache of having to use like Chrome remote login across multiple machines. So yeah, HiveOS it's sort of a mining farm or a co-location operator's best friend. Put it that way. Let's go back over to the efficiency per watt, guys, and Crypto Night right here. We might notice that would pop the Vega FE back up to the top spots there, but it doesn't dethrone the RX 550. Still top 3. Crazy, right? That's crazy. And what I'll say also is that Crypto Night is specifically where Vega has its top advantage. Guys, that's going away. When Xilinx gets its act together and SQRL and Minority and FPGA Land or All Mine Inc., when they're able to start shipping the BCU 1525s, that advantage goes away. It's gone. It's absolutely gone. So I would be very cautious. And this is why I stopped recommending the Vega FE, is that it's just not the right time anymore. And getting better pricing than what I've listed here, it's possible. I needed disclosure. I need to go through just about everything from the 480 to this half of this list, and I need to kind of update my pricing there. So I think it's a little bit better there. So yeah, thank you for the call out there. Vega cards, especially the Frontier Edition, they're phenomenal cards, but I think the time to endorse them as a really good option to buy, I think that it's time to stop saying that. Yankee, I think that the SQRL miner should be good when it ships. We don't have a definitive date for when that's going to happen yet, so I'll keep our fingers crossed. And who knows? Maybe they'll ship something that is primarily meant to run the Acorn for a couple of specific algorithms, and that might be it. We don't know, right? A lot has been talked about, but we don't know until there's a production piece of software. In the same way that we don't know exactly what the Acorn's going to do till we see production hardware, right? So I'm very cautious about talking about future performance. So Izzy is talking about Xilinx is probably undervalued in your opinion. You're probably right in terms of a company and probably also in terms of mining performance for Crypto Night. It's very possible that the Xilinx cards, the BCU 1525, could perform even better. There were probably some efficiencies to be gained by some of the development community that's been focused on FPGA bit streams with a little bit more time and attention on algo tuning. We could probably see even greater efficiency, but these are pre-production units. This is the VCU 1525 that's out in the market. So if you have somebody writing custom bit streams for you, then great, you can mine. But if you're waiting for a BCU 1525 to ship, the mining part, then we just got to wait, right? We just got to wait until that ships. And it's going to be, for me at least, man, with prices still in the $800, $900, $1,000 range for the Vega FE, I would not recommend that people look at this seriously for mining because the time to break even, it appears to be too great in my mind. I could be really wrong. It just seems like it's going to be too long. So guys, jumping back in, that's the methodology there. Does this make sense? Because somebody asked, how are you getting this? And this is how I came to some of these numbers. Thank you also for mentioning that you're getting about 130 watts on your Vega cards there, guys. And it's important to know that there's going to be a high end, and Vega 56 tends to draw close to 230 based on what I've read, close to 230 on the high end, and then down to as little as apparently 130 watts on the low end, which is why the average power consumption, it's not the best way to do this. I might be able to do this per algo. We could do a spreadsheet per algo, but it just seems like then it's too many different spreadsheets. I kind of want to get a sense in one spreadsheet to be able to sort fast, get a sense for what is generally a good card for each algorithm generally. Yeah, and Mossy, I'm with you. It is still the best. Vega FE is still the best for Kryptonite variants in terms of GPU performance on Kryptonite. And that's why I did multiple videos talking it up so much, guys. Vega FE is a phenomenal piece of hardware. And in fact, AMD, apparently after I did my videos, AMD, I'd love to take credit for it. I don't know if I can, but AMD changed the way that they talk about the Vega FE cards on their own website by touting it as this like blockchain hero part, where it's like, this is an amazing blockchain performer. So I'm kind of flattered. I'd like to think in my heart of hearts that maybe they saw my videos and they were like, all right, this guy's onto something. Let's talk about Vega FE as though it's a mining card, kind of. But here we are, guys, with cards that are back into the $300 range, $400 range, $500 range that are performing very well and keeping profits very high for other algorithms and other coins. So Jolinator says you just bought 3 1080s for $370 each. Not sure if you won or if you suicided. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you either way, but I will say that, I mean, any of us 3 months ago to have gotten a 1080 for $370 US, any of us would have been like over the moon, right? Just to get that kind of pricing. So I think bare minimum, I mean, hey, go hit up some gamers and be like, yeah, I got a 1080 here for only $500. They'll be like, oh, I'll take 3. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to sell at all your coins. So guys, Blacklight saying altcoins rally may start because of ETF, because ETF got delayed. Yeah, could be. It's an exciting time, guys, for mining. That's why I talk about this stuff, especially. Let's go over to what to mine. Let's look at some of these numbers in terms of what's profitable today. Got the numbers here, and I'm especially. Myron's asking about, has anyone made a custom BIOS for the Vega FE? I'm pretty sure that there is. Let us know, guys, in the comments. Specifically, Mossy, you were saying that you're mining on Vega FE. Izzy, were you saying that you're mining on Vega FE as well? Nope, Mossy's on Vega FE. Let us know what kind of resources you're using for your Vega FE. Sharing is caring, guys. Let's help each other out here. So, guys, I'm talking about some of the mining edition cards because they are amazing. They're amazing, and it's here in the bang for the buck. So, is it, again, Kryptonite is kind of an oddball algorithm, right? Izzy, I'm with you. Super interesting time to be alive. That we get to talk about this stuff and it means something, right? I mean, if we were huddled around a spreadsheet in high school, we'd all be like punching each other in the throats, like, oh, you're such a nerd. This is so dumb. But here we are, like geeking out about this stuff, like, whoa, performance on this hardware is so cool. And we can make machines earn money for us in our sleep. It's crazy. Yeah, if you told me in high school I'd be doing this, I just wouldn't have believed you at all. It would have seemed like science fiction, but not even like science fiction. It would have seemed like boring science fiction, right? It would have been like, that's dumb. I hate the future. Why can't I have flying cars? Anyway, so here we are. But let's go back to efficiency per watt for long-term mining, right? There you go, guys. Mossy's got some goodness there in the comments for you on Vega FE. But let's look at Lyra 2 Rev 2, because still profitable. Oh, what's this? P106, P104, deadlocked, because the ratio is the same. P106, P104, deadlocked in terms of efficiency. P102, close third. After that, 1080 Ti, ETH larged. Let's go over to Neoscript. Don't know how many Neoscript coins are actually trending. P106, P104, P1... Are you guys getting tired of this yet? I won't get tired of talking about this, but are you guys getting tired of this yet? Similar story almost anywhere, right? So we can go to Libri, we can go to some others. What the heck? Gonna go over to X16R right here, okay? So X16R, go that direction, P106, P104, P102. Again, guys, this is just keeps on going. The efficiency is in favor of NVIDIA for a lot of these particular algorithms on these coins. And as you know, on Subscriber Pool, I noticed that Matt, he visited over from the technicals, but on Subscriber Pool, there are several X16R coins. They're doing great. But let's go back over to Ethereum Classic, because they ain't dead yet. P106, P104, P102, top of the list. Yeah. Need I say more? I think we're just going to say that efficiency per watt, they're gonna take all of it. But over to X16R, bang for the buck, go Z to A. Here's where it gets kind of interesting, right? Because the 750 Ti can hash X16R at all, it's on the top of the list. Yep, so Myron's asking about Anorak. It's a website where you can find custom BIOSes for various different cards. I will say this, you can't always find the best BIOSes for every card. It's sort of, you'll get some BIOSes for some cards, and they do help, but it's a great resource. So looking at the top of the stack, guys, 750 Ti, just because it hashes it at all. But then you've got 1060. They're the P106, top of the stack. After that, RX 580. But then P104. There's a top 5, guys. And in the top 5, you've got mining-specific parts. 2 of them. 2 mining-specific parts in the top 5 stacked ranking. So Hero Y is asking about selling the duals. Guys, I don't think I can do the duals at a price that is going to make them attractive. I'm sorry. I wish that I could. And I talked about that. It really pains me because I've been working on these for months. And you saw the live stream where I did successfully on my test bench here where I did 62.5 mega hashes. I was super stoked to finally get these things dialed in and really just really mining the way I liked them. And I had them over here mining some in the test bench. And it killed me that I just was not able to source them at a price that would honor you as a community. Like, yeah, I couldn't do that. And frankly, you know, if it were a friend asking me like, hey, Seth, should I buy these? I would have had to tell them no. So if I would tell that to a good friend, why would I tell you anything differently? Whereas the cards that we're talking about now, like, no, they're just a good value. They're finally like getting in line to a good value, right? So Jillinator, I'm with you. We gotta link up arms. We're stronger together. So yeah, top of the stacked ranking here though, guys, for the bang for the buck on X16R, 2 of those are mining parts. One of them is the P104, which, as you know, I have access to, and I'm really excited about. I am really, really excited about having access to multiples of the P104. And as you know, Christie's gone on record as saying that minority will host, which means that if we can get a minority approved hosting facility here where I have access to the cards, the cost stays ultra low because there's no additional transportation costs. We don't need to worry about international shipping because then it is, oh, hey, Izzy, I can't throw out a number today. Sorry. I wish I could do that. I just can't do that. Yeah, I can't do that right now. Sorry. But what I will say is we're looking at a price that just is not in line. Let's look at the data tab over here, though. Let's look at any cards that currently do about like 60 mega hashes or more. And the 295 X2, you'll still find it for about $700. And I'll say that the mining part that I was talking about with the community, that's not right. Who did that? Interesting. Anyway. That one, a little messed up. So Izzy Logan, you're asking about ARM mining, and ARM mining is very interesting. As you know, guys, the Kryptonite and Kryptonite Heavy, Kryptonite Light, so ANON, and then all of the other variants of Kryptonite, they can be compiled for ARM. So on your smartphone, you could mine Monero on the previous algorithm. You could mine it at about 9 to 11 hashes per second. You might be able to do better if you had it really optimized, or if you had all the other apps turned off, you could do even better than that. But let's be real. If you're looking at, I'm just using the older standard of Kryptonite. So not Kryptonite v7, not Kryptonite heavy. But as far as mining on an octa-core ARM system here, so ARM v8, 64-bit, you're only doing like on average about 10 to 11 hashes per second. A good laptop is going to get you about 100 hashes per second, and that would maybe net you, at least in the past, net you between 20 to 25 cents in profit a day, maybe. So this, if you can get ahead of electricity costs, this is going to do what? Like, it's going to do a fraction of a cent a day, maybe a couple cents a day. I don't know. I'm not convinced that it's worth it. It'd be like 2-3 cents a day mining on your phone. But if you had a grid and if you were able to properly network a bunch of ARM devices, I don't know, maybe there's a real use case there for mining on ARM. I don't know what other algorithms can be run on ARM processors today. Guys, if you know, let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear more about that. And who knows, maybe we can get our hands on some ARM hardware and to try to rescue some old phones, right? Reclaim some old phones and turn them into mining machines. Might be interesting. So Bemused Caffeine, you're asking about how to get the 295 X2 to 62 mega hashes per second. I'll say this. BBT Carter actually got that mining part. He actually got it to 67 mega hashes per second. Now, did he sustain it for a long period of time? I don't know. But I could just pop that right back up to 67. So pretty crazy stuff. Very performant card. So I'm surprised that got dropped way down, guys. I don't know why that got dropped so far down. It must have been a community member that changed it a little bit. I do stay on top of most of these numbers. But yeah, Faded, I'm with you. This is not for people who are very technical. ARM mining, probably not the best way to go. Izzy is saying that the Zettelkasten algo is really good. It does as much as your 5820K i7 for 1/10 the power. That is pretty cool. So I'll look into that. I will. That looks very interesting. And I'll check to see how it does on a Samsung Galaxy phone. But guys, to talk just kind of briefly about the mining profitability here, I kind of wanted to update this because people asked me about like, hey Seth, why are you talking about P104s right now? It seemed like you were talking about the dual GPU part that you had before, and I was, and I'm still really excited about it because this can be used, like this does scale up very well for workstation purposes. So, but because it's an AMD part, it would have to be on networks that support it, right? So it would have to be like on like the SONMs and the Golems and the render tokens of the world would have to be able to accept AMD parts in order to do alternate compute bounties with these cards. So I'd like to talk to them about that, guys, with your permission, really push, because this may still be a very viable option. But looking at the P104s in terms of mining and then also alternate compute, it should work really well. It should work really, really well. So yeah, that's why I'm talking about the P104 right now. Plus, I have access to a bunch of them at a really great price. They're a very rare card. They were rare when they were expensive. They're especially rare now when I finally found some that are not prohibitively expensive. So I figured, guys, I haven't asked much from the community. This is one of those things that I'm going to ask. Seriously consider a P104 mining card. It's the best value I've been able to find so far for a mining card. And you guys saw me for months agonizing over this. You saw me for months trying to make this work, trying to shove a square peg into a round hole, however you want to describe it, and working on keeping the hash rate high and trying to source them, and it just didn't work. And this one, a member of my personal network has reached out to me and said, look, I can get the parts. I've got the parts, rather. So I'm going to ask you to seriously consider it, guys. The P104, we're looking at that group buy. Minority has gone on record as saying that they are willing to host and add their secret sauce to bring it up to 44 mega hashes per second on that card. Phenomenal card, hosted by a phenomenal company that is doing right by the community and whose values very closely align with mine. So I'm asking you to seriously consider it, guys. So best way to show your interest, on that is to go to shop.mineyour.biz, and I'm putting that in the comments right there. Or actually, it should be available as a card above my head, right about this area of the screen. Should be one of the live cards on YouTube, so you can click through to check your interest there. All right, guys, this is what I've got for you tonight. Let's just check what to mine really fast before I let you go. Mining profitability is a bit low at this point, using 10 cents per kilowatt hour as the baseline standard. And yeah, there's nice hash, top of the stack. Ethereum is back above in profitability, higher in profitability than Ethereum Classic, probably because of that price drop from the day. So wait a second. Whoa. Oh, hold on. So, Josh, you're asking about the dual GPU cards. I'm sorry, I misrepresented that. The P104 is not a dual GPU card. This card right here, the dual GPU card that I've been working on, this does 62.5 mega hashes per second in my tests on the high end. And it's a pretty killer card. It is a pretty killer card. But the P104 is an NVIDIA mining part, and that can be hosted by Minority, or it can be shipped to you. Now, guys, I think if we have it shipped directly to individuals, we might have to do a minimum order quantity. I know it's painful. It's annoying and painful. So yeah, that's annoying and painful. However, oh yeah, so Jake, the price is listed in the Mine Your Biz Discord. We've got a sticky there. Let me see if I can get that. Yeah, and B-Rye is got it listed right there. So for posterity's sake, I'm not gonna say the price out loud. But Mind Your Biz Discord. And we've got a sub channel right there where we're doing Q&A about this group buy on the NVIDIA P104 card. And we'll have details kind of as we get closer and closer to the time where we can make this happen, because Minority kind of needs, they've got a lot going on right now, guys, with the BCU 1525 deal. I mean, it's not just SQRL that's got this issue going on with sourcing these cards from Xilinx, right? And Minority is in the same boat. So is FPGA Land or All Mine Inc. with Tom Senseless over there. So they're all kind of scrambling and figuring out what's the fastest way we can bring these Xilinx parts to market. And so they're partnering with Xilinx to try to make sure that they make good on those parts. So I don't want to put any undue pressure on the Minority team, but what I will say, yeah, Josh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Adding the vector marketing, man, I appreciate. Also, guys, shout out to Josh. He started a BitTube channel. I meant to do this before, so I appreciate you putting out a reminder. So, guys, Josh on BitTube, he asked me privately on Discord, was like, "Hey, Seth, I'm working on a side hustle right now, going to school, trying to get myself through college, and I'm selling knives door to door." So he's putting some muscle into his hustle there. But he's like, "I want to give you a demo." And I said, "Oh, cool. Virtual demo of knives." And I was like, "Is that vector marketing by chance? Because there are only so many knife companies that let you sell door to door." And I'm familiar with this company. And I told him which demo I wanted to see, where he took some scissors, and I don't want to give it away, but he did this really cool demo. And I was like, "Hey, man, you should start a BitTube account, and you should do some demos on BitTube. You'd be the first door-to-door knife salesman on BitTube." Josh did just that. He's the first door-to-door knife salesman selling knives on BitTube. So mad props to Josh. He's putting serious hustle in. So yeah, I can't wait to see more of those videos, Josh. Really admire that hustle. So Izzy's saying that's scary that Xilinx has been partnered with Bitmain for a while. Who knows what alliances they have? Family, business, you know. I don't know. Yeah, it's always possible, guys. It's always possible. Truth is stranger than fiction, so we don't really know what's going on there. But yeah, guys, the P104 parts definitely urge you to take a look, right? Take a look. And shop.mineyour.biz, the info card is right here live on the channel. You can sign up to show that you're interested there. We also have the riserless cases. So this is Octominer style, but it's not Octominer brand, and we're doing it at a better price than Octominer can. Oh, unintentional poet. And I wasn't even aware. So that we're looking at doing as a full system with the P104 already pre-installed and then with Hive OS pre-installed on the drive. Or if it's going straight to Minority, then it goes to Minority and goes into their host devices, where they can make it really pretty and just make it absolutely sing for you. Get the best possible hash rates. So yeah, guys, we got a couple different options there, but sign up, show your interest at shop.miner.biz, and check out the Discord, where we'll have more info on the group buy in the P104 group buy sub channel. And yeah, guys, somebody asked me in the comments also, and I need to address this really quickly before I close out the live stream. We've been going almost 2 hours, so probably need to call it a night. But Ethereum Classic, guys, our wildest dreams did not come true. It did not go to $30. But it also didn't go to 15, so that's cool. A big another round of applause for Faded. It went to about 17, so not too bad, not too terrible, and only down from about 19 and change, almost $20. I still maintain my opinion, right? My uninformed opinion. My gut tells me we're going to be fine. A few more days, and Ethereum Classic is going to be pretty close to where we expect it. Mining profits are going to be pretty close to where we expect them. And then possibly, yes, it will go up in value as it's listed on Coinbase, and people, like it was said before, the plebes get in and start saying, oh, cool, I can transfer money from my bank account to buy Ethereum Classic. What's that? I'll just start trying it. I'm going to buy more of what Coinbase has, right? I'll get a little bit of Bitcoin, get some Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and now this stuff, right? So, and then of course Ethereum right next to it. Yes, so Hero Y, shop.miner.biz is just a white page that asks for your email. That's all it is today. However, behind that white page is actually an e-commerce shop that hasn't launched yet. So guys, I do have the e-commerce shop ready to go, but I am working on adding functionality and working in conjunction with Minority so that it's not a weird, unevenly yoked launch. Hey, friends don't ask friends to work for free, right? And friends don't cheat friends. So I'm going to work with Minority to see what the best way is for us to launch this group buy. And we'll be talking about it in Discord to make sure that we're getting community feedback and doing the right thing by people who are interested in it. But in the meantime, guys, having an email address on file is really important. That is the email list that's strictly for this product launch. There hasn't been an email that's gone out for any other purpose for anybody that's already signed up for this product launch. It's just for high hash rate cards and a group buy from Mind Your Biz. All right. Hey, yeah, Izzy, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I haven't done many of my pacing live streams lately. They actually do help me to get the creative juices flowing. But here, guys, what to mine? It's telling a decent story there. I adjusted some of the hash rate there. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. Appreciate you hitting the subscribe button. Thanks for sharing us out on Twitter and on Reddit. Thank you for clicking the bell icon so you know when we're live. And thank you for your anonymous donations. Also for your super chats, guys. The generosity of the community is amazing. Sharing is caring, and it goes across the board, right? Whether it's some of our tips and tricks for mining and algo tuning, or it is, kicking down whatever, a $2 or $5 super chat to ask a question. It's always cool. Really appreciate that. Ronaldo, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Here's the thing. I've got friends in London who, man, for the longest time, they wrecked my sleep schedule, where I'd have to get up at 5 a.m. to talk to anybody in the middle of the day. Crazy. Yeah, Hero I probably should be using Crypto Zone. Now that you mention it, we might start doing that more frequently. Oh no! Altcoin mining calculator, and you know what else? Booyah! Dark theme. Gotta love that. All right, so Surfin, you're a little late. You're a little late, but I talked about that, and you may think that new NVIDIA GPUs are coming soon. That may well be true. I can neither confirm nor deny because I don't know. But what I will say is I think we're going to be underwhelmed as miners. I think that gamers are going to be happy because they'll be like, all right, sweet. I can pre-order something and I can get something that's going to just kick butt on whatever my favorite game is. I need all the FPS. And we're going to be like, bruh, I need all the hashes at the right price. And I don't think that I think that second part of the equation is not going to be something that we like. I don't think we're going to like the price per hash or bang for the buck as you see it expressed on my spreadsheet. I don't think we're going to like the bang for the buck on whatever the next generation of NVIDIA cards is, personally. But over here, guys, yeah, we'll start using CryptoZone a little more frequently than we use What to Mine. Okay, fair enough. I just don't like that I can't save data sets here. We'll get there. Hey, Jake, appreciate that. Thanks so much for the super chat. He didn't even write anything. Just kicked down $2. Appreciate it. All right, guys. You know who loves your face. It's this guy. Appreciate your ongoing support. And I need to call it a night. But don't worry. Be back soon. And we're going to be back on a regularly scheduled broadcast routine with an addition. I can't give it away yet. But we have a new show. Hey. What is this new show? I can't tell you yet. But it's going to be awesome. And I can't wait to announce it. Maybe able to announce it tomorrow. Maybe able to announce it this Friday. Not sure. But you're going to like it. I know you're going to like it. All right, guys. You're the reason I make these videos. You know it. You're the reason I make these videos. Sharing is caring. Let's help each other up. Let's help each other out. Lift each other up as a community. I love your face. And I will see you in the next one.